Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Aloha Nathie Yoga. I'm so glad you made it. Before we start the class, I just want to show you some invention of mine hanging by a window. The shells, Maui, and around the world. I have attached some gorgeous colors. Look forward to seeing you on the mat. Aloha. Welcome to your daily practice. So I'm so glad to be guiding you in this practice today. This can be practiced at any time of day. So grab 2 yoga blocks or the equivalent of yoga blocks and your water, and we'll begin. So we'll begin in a child's pose. So having your knees wide, big toes to touch, send your hips back into the heels and lengthen the arms forward, relaxing the forehead onto the mat. Grounding down in your breath, taking a few long, deep, nourishing breaths to settle on your mat. Maybe now is the time to bring an intention into your practice. This could just be simply showing up or shifting your energy for the day. Or it could just be self-care, being more mindful and aware of your needs. So take a last really deep breath in here. And a big breath out. Beautiful. Pull yourself up into a tabletop. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So draw the navel up and in. And then allow the heart to be pulled forward through the shoulders, lifting the tailbone up, pointing the toes back, creating an opened chest, gazing up. And then exhale, round into your cat. Draw the chin to the chest, navel into spine. Do a few more rounds here with syncing your breath along with the movement. Beautiful. Come back to a neutral spine and take your left knee out and down and in for a hip rotation. And in that hip rotation, notice where your weight is going in the palms and in that right knee, driving down through the earth, but pushing up with strength. Notice how it feels as you rotate the joint. Switch directions here, really slow and mindful. If you have any hip limitations, you can always do these circles smaller, okay? And then we'll switch directions we'll switch knees. So taking the right knee out and down and in. Gazing down at the mat here to lengthen the back of the neck, softening the sides of the neck and the jaw. And then switch directions with the circle. Beautiful. Take the left foot back behind you on the ball of the foot, swaying forward and back here. Press the heel back to lengthen the calf. You can always come down on the forearms here to rest your wrists if that's too much for you. You're going to then lift the back leg in line with the mat, toes pointing down. Take a moment here to feel the strength building in the abdomen here, lifting with the glute. You're going to bend the knee, bringing into the chest, rounding in, and then you're going to take the knee out, draw the foot away in line, and plant the foot down on the mat for a side lunge here. Okay. Take a moment here to draw the knife edge of the left foot down in the mat and just sway gently forward and back. Stretching the inside of the thigh, leading into the foot, the ankle. Come back to center, draw that knee back in. Okay. Draw the knees together and then sit the hips back into the heels. Allow the chest to drape over the thighs for a moment. Maybe the forehead lands on the block or the mat, and then just reach your arms behind you, palms facing up, and relax the shoulders. Deep breaths here. Beautiful. Okay, come back to a tabletop and we'll do the other side. So I'll just switch directions. Take the right foot behind you on the ball of the foot and sway forward and back here. Press the heel back to stretch the calf. All the way down the back of the leg here. You'll feel the stretch as you press the heel back. And then draw the shoulders over the wrists, draw the knee into the chest, take the knee out to the side, and then send the foot out and open up that leg long. Press the foot down into the mat here, okay? And then sway forward and back very gently. Notice how the breath is feeling in your body. Taking note of anything that you've been dealing with in your body lately. That could be an injury, okay? It could be a chronic illness, anything that you need to keep in mind for your body and your wellness. And then just come back to the intention for your practice, the one you set at the beginning. And then come back to center, draw that leg back in. Beautiful. Okay, and now we're just going to do a bit of opening of the shoulders. So walk back on the mat, keep the knees in line with the hips. Walk the arms forward, draw the chest down, forehead landing on the mat maybe here, or the chin for puppy pose. Okay, take a moment here to feel the lengthened front line of the body, the abdominal wall stretching here. Breathing deeply. Allow yourself to sink in just a little more into your practice. Walk the hands up just a little Reach the left arm overhead and exhale, weave it underneath the right armpit for thread the needle arms here. Reaching that right arm forward. 3 deep breaths right in the middle of the spine here. Option to come into a bind with the right arm. Release that arm down, unwind the twist, reach the left arm up, gaze up, and then exhale it down. We'll come onto the other side, sweep that right arm to the sky, look up, and then exhale, weave it underneath the left armpit, reaching the left arm forward. Few deep breaths here. Release that left hand down on the mat. Inhale, sweep the right arm overhead, gaze up. And then exhale, release the hands down on the mat. Walk the hands forward a little bit, tuck the toes. Slowly lift the knees off of the mat and send the hips back, staying low. Knees generously bent here. Taking a moment to slowly unbend the knees. Okay, maybe just one at a time. Starting to pedal the feet here, really slowly and mindfully, feeling the back line of the body really opening up. Okay, the fascia line can run from the heel all the way up the back of the body to the hands. So just taking a moment here to notice what is happening in the body. You can widen the downward facing dog, stepping it wider if that's more comfortable for you. You can even just sway, shift your torso side to side if that feels okay in your hips, in the inner thighs, in the sacroiliac joint and sacrum here. And then find stillness in the downward facing dog for a few breaths. Letting it all out. Lifting the hips up and back a little more. Inhale, draw yourself forward into a plank. Feet closer in together. Taking a moment in the high plank here. You may want to sway forward and back on the ball of the feet. Draw the navel up and in. Keep that activation going in the core here. Okay? Feel that activation. And then staying long in the torso, hips dropped down, elbows drawn back, chest wide and opened. Draw the knees to the mat. Bend the elbows, grazing the ribs, lower down slowly onto the belly. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. 2 more like that. Inhale, cobra as you squeeze the back of the body. So pretend that you're squeezing a pole through the shoulder blades, down your back, glutes. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen and squeeze here. And then lower down. Inhale, tuck the toes, tabletop. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet. Beautiful. Inhale, draw yourself into plank. Plant the right hand underneath you. Draw the feet together and then pivot onto the knife edge of the right foot into side plank. Option here, okay, to drop the bottom leg down onto the shin, like so, okay? Modified side plank. Okay. Find your plank. Draw the navel up and in, keeping the collarbones broad. The crown reaching forward. Feel the glutes working for you here. One more breath here. Looking down, pivot back into a plank. Shift your weight forward, lower the knees, lower down slowly, all the way. Arms down by the sides, palms facing down. Draw the legs closer in towards each other. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift the whole body off of the mat as if you're taking flight here. Breathing in. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lengthen and lift the arms, chest, legs. Squeeze the back body here. Feel the abdominal muscles working, strengthening all your torso. And then exhale, lower that down. Hands by the ribs. Inhale, press up into a tabletop. Exhale slowly into your third downward facing dog. Few cleansing breaths here, letting it all out. Come back to center, inhale, plank. Plant the left hand underneath you, feet together. Take a moment here, and then pivot onto the knife edge of the left foot into side plank. Reaching that right arm to the sky. Option to always come into modified side plank. Focus on your deep breaths more than going too deep into the pose. So just focus on activation, strength, and deep breathing so you can really train your body to hone in on the quality of your practice and the mind focusing on helping that happen for you. Okay. And then look down, pivot back into a plank. Take a moment here, lower the knees down and lower all the way down onto the chest. Slide the forearms forward into a sphinx. So you might want to have a block underneath the forehead here. Elbows underneath the shoulders, palms facing down. And then thread the heart through the shoulders as you relax the shoulders and shoulder blades down. Opening the abdominal wall again here. One more deep breath. And then release the forehead on stacked hands, swaying the hips side to side here. Just taking a moment of breath. And then keeping that right forearm down on the mat, bend the left knee, grab the ankle with the left hand, and just draw the heel towards the glute, pressing the front of the thigh down into the mat. Passively opening the quads, hip flexors, front of the hip here. And you can always wrap a strap around the ankle to help you achieve this if you can't actively grab it with the hand. So you can just do this, okay? Release the leg down, and we'll do the other side. So left forearm in front of the face, bend the right knee, grab the ankle with the right hand, and then just draw the foot towards the glute, pressing the front of the body down in the mat. Really gently here. It doesn't have to be much to actually feel that opening. Release the foot down, hands by the ribs, press up into a tabletop, and then shift your hips back for a child's pose. Elbows by the ears, hands together behind the head here, opening the triceps, the shoulders. Feel the breath as it expands through the intercostal muscles, 360 degrees here, all the way down into the lower back and abdomen. Soften the heart as you exhale. Release the hands down, press yourself up into a tabletop. Getting ready here to come onto the back. Turn the shins to the side, come on the sit bones. Release the strap to the side. Bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees wide here into a butterfly. So you can take the blocks, place them behind the knees if desired. Take a deep breath in, exhale, shift your heart forward and then fold in. Allowing the head to hang here, drawing the chin, okay, towards the chest. And then if this is too much for you, you can always lengthen the feet forward in a more diamond shape. Okay, and fold in. That might work for you, doesn't work for everybody. For some people, it's actually less comfortable. So just find what works for you. Inhale, walk it up. Release the blocks to the side, draw the knees in. Plant the feet, nudge yourself forward, and then slowly lower down onto the spine. Taking a moment here to land on your back. Maybe even giving yourself a big stretch, lengthening the toes, squeezing and lengthening here. Deep, long stretch. And then plant the feet back down on the mat. Okay. Taking a block maybe here between the thighs, if desired. Heels underneath the knees, arms down by the sides, palms facing down. Take a deep breath in, feeling the chest opened here, okay? Feeling everything opened. And then exhale, press the lower back down, squeeze the block, and lift the hips up into a bridge. Taking a moment to feel your initial bridge, which doesn't have to be much, okay? It doesn't have to be at the fullest expression, but feel the heels digging into the mat. Feel the glutes, feel the motion of drawing the tailbone down and lifting, okay, the hips to the sky with the strength of the back body. And then slowly lower that down. Deep breath. And exhale. You can keep the block there or remove the block. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale once again. Press the lower back down. Lift the tailbone up. Lift the hips higher here. Maybe the shoulders come underneath the back, interlacing the fingers, pressing the arms into the mat, and lifting a little higher. Listen to your body. So if this is too much, just lower down slightly, but find the activation in the abdominals, the pelvis, drawing the legs in as if you want to press the legs in towards each other. So that strength is in the inner thighs just as much as the back. And then release the grip. Lower down slowly from the top of the spine all the way down. And then here you can maybe windshield wipe the knees gently side to side, opening the arms out into a T here. You could draw the knees into the chest if that feels better for your body. In the transitions and the release of poses, the body is also speaking. Those are the moments to also really deeply listen to what is happening as you come out of a pose. And then final pose, we'll come into a twist. So there's numerous ways to come into the twist, but I'll introduce a way that I don't often bring into class. So taking a block between the thighs at the shortest or second shortest setting. Okay. Draw the knees over the hips. And you can also kind of nudge your hips slightly to the right first. Draw the knees over the hips and then drop the whole bottom of your body to the left. Keeping the block there. Just focusing on twisting in the middle spine. Okay. So the knees will stay in line with each other as you draw the block into the thighs. And then inhale slowly with control. Draw the bottom body up again, knees in line with the hips. Plant the feet down, nudge your hips to the left. Draw the knees over the hips and then slowly rotate so that the knees fall to the right. Keeping the block where it is, keeping the legs where they are. Notice how, the rotation is really being focused in the spine more than the legs and the pelvis. So it's more in the middle spine when we're doing it this way. And then bringing your attention to the transition, we're going to slowly draw the knees back to center. Notice how you're untwisting. Plant the feet, shift the hips to the right. We'll do that again on each side. You can do it very slowly or you can do it faster at your own pace. Okay, you can do a few repetitions here with your breath. Similarly, you can do twists on the wall. Planting the feet on a wall, legs at 90 degrees, and drop your legs to the right and the left. Okay. And then inhale, come back to center, plant the feet down, release the block. Reach the legs long, give yourself a final big reach and stretch here. And then walk the legs to the left, walk the torso to the left for Bananasana, side stretch here. Deep breath. Softening the whole body down. Breathing into the right side, one last deep breath. Exhale, bringing in the intention once more, reminding yourself of why you're here practicing on the mat. Release the legs, walk everything back to center, take a breath in. And then exhale, walk the legs to the right, torso to the right. Side stretch here. Release that down, walk it all back to center, plant the feet, draw the knees in for one last hug here, maybe opening the knees wide or coming even into a happy baby. Whenever you're ready, allowing yourself to find the final shavasana that works for you here. You may just keep the knees bent, knees knocking in. Okay. And grounding down in the back, taking a few more deep, long breaths, focusing on the length of the exhales here. Sinking the eyes back in their sockets, softening your jaw all the way down the spine, allowing the abdomen to soften. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in your practice. I'm sending you so much love, wellness, joy, abundance. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.